So breaking news just came over my phone that Whitey Bulger was found dead at in his jail cell, I guess. I'm not really sure 100%. A while back I was doing some research on mkultra, and for a lot of people who don't know, it was a government program, like a mind control program. They did a lot of testing on people, especially prisoners. And in my research, I found that Whitey Bulger was one of those people. Now, me being from Boston, a lot of people that I know knew Whitey. I mean, he lived 5 minutes up the road. So I wanted to know if it was true. You know, did they actually test on him, or was that all bullshit? And so I wrote to him thinking, this guy's probably going to think I'm a nut job. But he didn't. And he wrote me back. And I have his letter here. And I didn't want to read it while he was still, you know, in prison. I kind of felt like, you know, I don't know, stupid. But May 29th, I had written to him, and he wrote back June 9th and said, "I'm sorry I'm late. I don't have a watch. I'm not sure when you wrote to me, but it was dated May 29th. And he goes into a bunch of detail about mkultra. I mean, I don't know how much paper they give these guys, but it's, you know, I mean, goodness, the whole back end. And I get it, you know, people are like, he was just a cold-blooded killer, he was trash, and they did a lot to this guy. I mean, did they turn him into a killer? We don't know. We can't say, really, what happened to him. So I wrote to him, and he wrote back, and he asked me to please go get some photographs for him of where he used to live. And I did that, and I sent them, but they were returned because they were in a yellow envelope, and it's been sitting in my car since then, so he never got them. And I know it's weird to care about, you know, a person like Whitey Bulger, but I'm that kind of strange person, you know, who gets strangely emotional about stuff like that. You know, I don't know the whole story on what happened or how he died. I mean, he was an older guy, but, you know, I tried to send him the photos. You know, you could, I mean, it's been sealed. It's just sitting here sealed, and I hadn't followed up, which, you know, for somebody like that, maybe that could have made him happy. I don't know. I'm just opening it now. If people want to see where Whitey used to live. I typed it out to him. That sucks, man. This is the house he used to live in. He just asked me to run over and take some photos for him, and I did, but you never did get to see him, unfortunately. You know, and of course I feel bad for his victims, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for anybody. I'm that way, which is crazy. But I mean, he goes into a lot of detail in this letter about what was done to him. mkultra was not a pleasant memory, and it has made me into an insomniac. As you can note, the hour I'm writing this. Received a letter from Ireland a couple of days ago mentioning mkultra and a copy of some entries in a hospital in Atlanta where he was. And he goes on to say, everything was very unpleasant. I hung in there for a long time. for the reward of 3 days good time for each month off of my then year 20-year sentence. Also not shown good time for volunteering for medical projects to develop a vaccine and cure and eliminate whooping cough. So they were testing the whooping cough vaccine on him. It was a #1 killer of infants back then. We were infected with large syringes full of raw whooping cough germs. He says it felt like molten lava. I can only imagine. I mean, what the hell were they doing? Who does that? But I'll read you guys the letter if you guys want to hear it. So, his letter going on from the whooping cough. Body shocked, felt on fire head to toe as body rebelled and fought back. Lots of tests, developed pertussis vaccine, whooping cough, defeated in U.S. vaccine works relentlessly. Some children not vaccinated had outbreaks. I don't know what that means. I had violent systematic reaction, and minutes after injection was put into the hole or isolation, we would sleep on concrete, high temperatures a lot, very achy joints, like the worst flu you ever felt. I worked in a hospital. The doctor asked me to volunteer for this worthy project. mkultra was top secret CIA. We were not told what else it was. Dr. Pfeiffer from the CIA told us they were looking for a cure for schizophrenia. I felt really tricked when I found all this out later. He goes on, he just says he was bitter, but it was the Cold War. He thought that he was helping. He thought that he was doing something good. And, you know, they were told not to discuss it because this could help them against Russia and other enemies. He did talk to a lawyer years later, but they said that there really wasn't much that he could do. Truth is, most of us would have volunteered for CIA. Us people in South Boston and over here were for America first, right or wrong, and we would have something and kept it secret. No problem. But it did change my life. Part of the project was behavioral modification. Doctors who were not doctors put us on medicines, asked strange questions like, would you ever kill someone? Did you ever kill anyone? Remember, at this point, I was just a petty thief. Read John Mark's book, Searching for a Manchurian Candidate, and write me back what you think about it, Tracy. I never got a chance to do that. I don't know. It's pretty sad, man. Rest in peace, Whitey. Rest in peace.